Let's join the Black Stallion's trainer, Corky Randall, in Texas.
This is Cassoulet, the famous Black Stallion, and this is his home, San Antonio Arabians. Cass is probably the most well-known horse in the world today. He's a registered Arab, 13 years old. Before his movie career, he was twice Horse of the Year in the American Horse Show circuit. He's probably traveled more miles than any other horse in the country, having been to Rome, Italy twice, Morocco, Canada, and of course all over the United States. He is not only famous for his work in the movies, but as a breeding stallion. We have many of his colts here, and we would like you to meet some of them now. Hi, Chauncey.
Hello.
Good to see you. Chauncey is the manager and the son of Dr. Coelho that owns San Antonio Arabians. This is a daughter of Cassoulet. She's 6 years old, and her name is Bint Cassoulet, meaning like father. Her colt by her side is a third-generation colt by a stallion called Normie, and they called him Ibn Normie, which in the Arab world means like father. These are some of the finer Arabs that enjoy the company of Cassoulet here at San Antonio Arabians, and probably Cassoulet has made him famous the world over. My beginning with horses in the movie business started with my father, who trained Roy Rogers' horse Trigger, and in the later years, Gene Autry's last horse, Champion. He also worked a very long time on Ben-Hur. I was at that time going to school, and of course Saturdays and Sundays, and during the war that we had, I did work in pictures, so I started getting my first baptism. Cassoulet is probably my most famous horse in my career, having done the Black Stallion. We're going to show you one of our better kept secrets. As you notice, Cass has 4 stocking legs. We're now going to show you how we make him into the famous Black Stallion. Johnsy? We're using a lady's hairspray to make the white stockings black. We also had double horses that were different than that, and we used ladies' hair dye. And this is the magic of Hollywood, transforming this horse into the famous Black Stallion. Okay, boys and girls, just like Clark Kent changing into Superman, we now have the famous Cassoulet change into the Black Stallion.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna try and save my car. You be careful.
We figure that a horse, his brain may be connected, but he has 2 sections to his brain, one for each eye. Everything that is taught on the left side, if you want to work him on the right, you therefore have to teach him the same thing on the right side. All this little exercise is to make him go out wide, and to make him come back, and to turn him in a different direction. It's like practicing with your fingers on the piano keys till you get to where you can look off in space, but still your fingers move along the keys without looking at what you're doing. Now, Cass is nice distance from me now. We could work him in a picture, and the cameraman there, he's got me out and just the horse. This is what would happen if we were in a picture going from point A to point B. needs a little sharpening up. Every one of these things that the Black Stallion does in the picture, we rehearse that the day that we do it very vigorously. And then we don't mess with it anymore, because a horse can get confused very easily and try to do all of his tricks. You will see a little bob. You will see him wanting to come and do a little fight, as you do there. So that we're very careful with these things, and we know each day's work, and that's the only thing that we rehearse is just what we're going to shoot, because a horse is very easily confused, and when he knows the amount of things that the Black Stallion knows, he wants to do them all real quick for you. And wait, we got a little head shake there to show that he's getting a little irritated. This is going to be a famous charge we have in the Black Stallion Returns. Cass charges into the hideout. We have men all around. He rears, he whinnies, he paws the ground. All of our bad guys are up against the wall. They're scared. And eventually they take flight out the door, and Kelly is released and climbs on the Black Stallion and makes his escape.
Sheetal, bet.
Stop! Stop! I want to talk to you! A deal!
I only make deals with honorable men!
Come back!
Cass is going to show you some of the little tricks that we put on him for his personal appearances when he goes out in front of the public. We're going to have him get down here and do a little kneel for you on his knees. There's one knee, there's both knees. Now he's going to show all the little kids how they say their prayers at night before they go to bed. Put it down there nice. That's nice, Cass. Now he's going to lay down, take a little nap. That's a good boy, Cass. We used this in the first Black Stallion, not eating the grass, but where Cass and the little boy are laying on the lawn going to sleep. Cass will lay out here good for us in a minute. There's a nice horse. All right, now we're going to ask him to set up. He sets up like a big boy. That's good, not too fast. Okay, he got up. These are little things that was put on Cass. He makes many, many personal appearances around the United States. And this is a little bow. We call it a chest let down. It's Cass's way of saying thank you for the applause and that you like to see him. Fencing the world around. Took many weeks of very hard and vigorous training. It's a stunt that uses every muscle in this horse's body. and he has to be built up to this. There you are, the famous hind leg stand, very hard on a horse, and he does it very well. Doc, there's a wonderful story connected with Cassoulet and your daughter Francesca, who shown Cassoulet for many years. Could you tell our audience something about that story?
Sure. You know, our daughter Francesca showed Cassoulet from age 3 until he started his movie career, age 8. For 5 years, they won numerous awards, as you all know. And unfortunately, just when he went to start filming his first movie, 2 days before, she had a near fatal accident. And she was in coma for about 6 weeks. And then we brought her home, still comatose. Still, she would not recognize things, but we could sit her up, and she would see Cassoulet being ridden outside. And I have no doubts in my mind that deep inside, she knew that that was her horse, despite that she could not communicate. And she tells us that she remembers a little bit of what happened during that time. And I think her desire was to ride him as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, she rode the horse before she could walk. We put her up on Cassoulet, and we put a special helmet, like a football helmet, in case that she would fall, and we stayed right next to her. So she actually rode the horse before she could walk. So there's no doubt that he did help in the recovery of our daughter Francesca.
Well, we all know that she's had a marvelous recovery, and I think all of us that's been around Cassoulet feel that he was a big part of it, and he has also been a big part of yours and the whole family's life. And so it's one of the things that has made Cassoulet famous all over the world. I think he's brought enjoyment to many, many thousands of little kids that wish and dream that they someday would have a horse like the Black Stallion.
I can't wait to see the film. We've been talking about makeup, and makeup artists are usually the first ones on a set. And then they have to hang around all day to do touch-ups. That's a touch-up. Thanks, Lizanne, for sharing some of your makeup magic with us. And I'd like to thank all of you for being here, too. There'll be more exciting film clips, film stars, and film secrets next time. Meanwhile, let's go to the movies.